It is January the 21st, 2026. And that's a dog on the couch. And this is the court gallery. Okay, everybody. Bella wants you all to know that she really appreciates you all very much. And she wants you to know all about the show that we have coming up tonight. It's Middleton's first day back in over 6 days. And ladies and gentlemen, it's everything you could want from a Middleton docket. We got a little bit of everything. We got some arraignments, we got some sentences, we got a zoning case. And then, after we spend some time with Judge Middleton, we're going to spend the last hour with Judge Webster and a young lady who is very opinionated about certain things and doesn't mind telling us all how she feels about all types of stuff. So, you know, I'm just going to leave that one right where it sits. And, well, I'll just throw it out there. She goes on a little bit of a racist tirade towards the end. It just happens. Well, you know, it's interesting to see. Regere's there. Judge Webster's there. It's a mess. And it all starts right now.
Welcome back. It feels like Monday to me. It's Wednesday, the 21st of January. I'm still on island time. Good morning, Javier. In more ways than one, when I left Isla Colón, it was about 85. When I got to Chicago, it was about 2. And I got home just in time to shovel my driveway and welcome back to Michigan in January. Schools are closed today and have been. I actually missed 6 work days, and it was good. Our new court officer is Paul, and he's here with us this morning. And we're ready to go. People will be coming in momentarily. What, they're out? Why don't you go ahead and bring them in? Sure. All right, everybody's got stuff going on. Today is first line. If you're 70, you won't know it. If you're 40, you will. Coming out of my cage, I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. It started out with a kiss. How did it end up like this? It was only a kiss. It was only a kiss. It is good to be back. Let's see if I remember how to do this. We have a number of arraignments today. Some of the people have had trouble getting here because of the weather. We've hired a new probation clerk, and she's fluent in Spanish and English. I'm glad to have her with us. My Spanish in Panama was woefully inadequate. Fortunately, my son speaks some Spanish, and most everybody there spoke English. So I hope our friends in California are well. I hope our friends everywhere else are well. And here's my cheat sheet. All right, I guess we'll get started. Thank you for saying good morning. It is always good to be back. Good to have a job and a purpose in life. It's a beautiful day. Great to be alive. Even if it is 12 degrees and the schools are closed. All right, let's talk to Thane Alexander Martin. We still got more to
Oh, I
call.
thought you said we were done.
We're done with our interpreter
Okay.
cases.
I thought they said the rest were no shows.
No. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Thank you for your patience also. You're from Walcottville.
Yes,
You got charged with no insurance and no proof of registration.
correct, Your Honor.
We get lots of these. The file number here is 252717SM. Thane Martin. Takes me a minute to shift gears from translator mode to non-translator mode.
Not a problem. Take your time, Your Honor.
It's humbling to be somewhere where you don't speak the language.
Mm.
And for all of our Mexican and Central American people, they're here and they're trying to figure out what's going on. They don't speak the language. Although if they're here for 6 years, they ought to be able to speak the language. But I was just in Panama and I don't speak Spanish. Everybody talks very quickly and I didn't understand much of what was going on. But they're much more tolerant and many Central American people speak English. So it is humbling to go somewhere where you don't speak the language. And I try to keep that in mind when dealing with our people that don't speak English. But if I went to Panama for 6 years, I think I learned to speak Spanish. Anyway, you got a charge of no insurance and no registration. Those are very common. No insurance is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $500, not less than $200. The no registration is a civil infraction, the way they charge this, and it carries a $105 fine. So let me ask you this. Do you have proof of insurance and registration with you now?
I have the proof of insurance, but the registration, I was trying to get the title transferred over and everything, and I need a, believe it's a lien release paper from the previous owner that I bought the vehicle from. And I have contacted that owner and he is
All
working
right, so
on
you're
getting
working on getting a proper registration?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's an Indiana registration or Michigan?
I believe with the title, it is Michigan.
All right.
I believe it is. Yeah, state of Michigan.
All right, well, one option, we can adjourn this a couple weeks and let you get that straightened out and come back with both insurance and registration. In which case, I think the prosecution would give you some consideration. They'll often reduce the no insurance to something less. We can try to do a pretrial with the prosecutor right now, but my guess is they're going to ask you to come back with that proof of registration. Are you willing to do that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that means coming back on another cold day, but
But life is life, you know?
yeah. Needs to transfer title.
And would you like to see the proof of insurance now? Or does it matter too much?
No, just hold on to it.
Okay.
Well, is it in paper form?
I have it on my phone.
No, hold on to it. If we had a paper one, I'd copy it, but
Oh, understandable. Yeah, by the time I come back, I should have the paper form.
all right, how much time do you need for that?
It's kind of hard to say because I'm just waiting on.
Well, how about if we do a month?
I would like to assume that that would be plenty of time.
All right, set for pretrial for February 11. That's not quite a month. February 25th. 8:30. That was a long wait for that, but we do the interpreter cases first because often the interpreters are in demand in other places.
Hmm.
And I try not to make them wait, but it makes everybody else wait. But I'm going to give you a notice in my poor handwriting.
My handwriting isn't the best either.
If I had a clerk in here, I'd have them do it. I'm going to try to do that before the next judge takes over. Set up a clerk in here. That would be Wednesday, February 25th, 2026 at 8:30. Bring proof of registration. Wait a minute. I think I'm gone that day. No, I'm here. All right, I'll see you in about a month. You'll bring proof of insurance and registration, and we'll have you meet with the prosecutor and see what they can do. Mr. Martin, thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Your Honor.
He needs to get printed on this insurance case. I'll go ahead and do it. Insurance is punishable by up to a year in jail. It requires that your fingerprints get taken, and we'll take care of that here this morning. You go to the court officer, and then I'll see you in a month.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
252706. This is an ordinance case. This is Xavier Marcus Ringler. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You're Xavier Ringler.
Yes, sir.
You're here on a ticket. Let's take a look at your ticket. Let me close all this other stuff out. I've been gone for 6 business days. Let's see if I remember how to do all this. You got a ticket for no license ever applied and speeding, just like all the other folks here this morning. Yours was December 29th of 2025 in Ottawa and Hatch. They alleged that you were going .40 and a 30. They must write a lot of tickets right there.
Yes, sir, they do.
All right. Now, your problem is you got $538 worth of unpaid fines. No insurance, no proof of insurance. There's a 25 left over. Registration plate, defective equipment, and a previous charge of failed to display a valid license. Let's take a look at those. I don't think they're all the same date.
Yeah, no, I don't believe so, sir. I don't know where the registration or improper equipment would be from.
They look to me like maybe they got defaulted. So let's take a look at this. You got a ticket for no proof of insurance on January 8th of 2025.
I remember that one.
And they reduced it to no proof of insurance. You'll find in that one. Let's look at this one. 4. May 31st, 2025, defective equipment. And you didn't respond to the ticket. That was a fix-it ticket. And
Does it by chance specify what like the equipment might have been?
well, I can tell you if I can find the ticket, but it's probably not in here. E-file belongs with criminal case. No ops ever applied. Well, that's this ticket. Four. October 25, failed to display a valid license. E-ticket, fine and costs, misdemeanor letter, default. So you got defaulted on the October ticket. So you apparently didn't get the memo. No proof of insurance on January 25th. Registration plate violation on May 21st. Driving without a valid license in this case, December of 25.
Yep.
And then driving without a valid license in October of 25. So some of those, one, the insurance you pled guilty to. The
Yes.
other ones, you didn't show up and you got defaulted.
I was told with the previous ticket for driving without ever having received a Michigan, I showed up for the hearing for that one, and they told me not that I wasn't supposed to be here because of the way that the officer wrote the ticket.
Well, it should be a misdemeanor, not a civil infraction.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. That was a whole mess
Well,
that day.
it looks like there's some credibility to that. What are you doing now? Are you trying to get your license?
So I actually thought I had my license because I had paid my fines because my license is in Indiana suspended on, I think, improper equipment from a vehicle that I owned in late 2024. And I had gotten a ticket for that I had just spaced on paying. So they suspended my license. I got pulled over in October up here in Sturgis, and the officer informed me my license was suspended. So I contacted the Indiana BMV trying to figure out like why it was suspended. That was when they informed me that the unpaid ticket was what suspended it. I had to pay that ticket and a reinstatement fee to the BMV. And I paid the.
So did you do that?
Yeah, I paid the reinstatement fee, and then they said they had to send an SR-16 to LaGrange County in Indiana and wait for a response from them. And that's the furthest I've gotten with that. And then I got pulled over in December here, door dashing.
Yeah, if I sit there and get all the door dashers going 40 and a 30. Anyway, you could use some help here. I think I'm going to appoint an attorney. Your livelihood depends on your driver's license. Now,
I got a ride. I was in Kalamazoo overnight with my fiance. She's doing chemotherapy up there. So after her appointment, we came down here.
all right.
I got to get a ride out of here though.
Do you need a bus pass to get back to Sturgis?
No, I got I'm waiting on my mom, actually. I'm sure she's probably here by now.
All right, set attorney pretrial for February 6th. 2026 at 8:30. You need to gather all your documentation from Indiana here, these unpaid tickets. You ignored the tickets, so they got defaulted.
So with that, I've been in the process, like long-term, of moving from Wookietville, Indiana, which I don't know if that's my current address on file or not.
It is. Do you have a local address?
It'd be 703.
Well, don't put it here on the live stream, but
Okay.
when you go out to see the clerks, get your current address.
All right. Yeah, because I'm in the process of moving up to Sturgis.
All right, get current address. Yeah, once you get on the driving suspended merry-go-round, it's very hard to get off of it.
Yes, sir.
And so let's see if we can get you off of it. I had, oh, here it is. All right, you go with the court officer and we'll get a lawyer, and you need to align your waterfowl, and I will see you on February the 6th. We'll try to sort this out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's order up our customer from the jail, Travis Guntle. I don't know anything about this Travis Guntle. I guess I better figure it out. Hello, Deputy Keeley. Judge Middleton calling. Could I see Travis Guntle? Guntle. Yeah, thanks. Bye. All right, we'll see what his deal is.
Absolutely. Thank you, Judge.
All right, it was only a kiss. It was only a kiss. Let's figure out what we got here, Miss Jackson. I apologize for this late addition. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Let's see what we got here. Clayton Carr.
Hey, sir.
Yes?
Is there any possible way that I can press charges? Because she knocked out my tooth and they had emergency move it this yesterday.
Say that again. You wish to press charges on who?
That's a picture for knocking out my tooth. They had emergency move it at the dentist yesterday.
You have a warrant out for your arrest.
And then they had.
Well, I don't know. We'll find out. You got a lawyer. Let's see where the deal is here. They just handed me this. Let me look at the actual case. Allege that you violated the conditions of your bond. You are on a conditional release in this charge on some serious charges. The file number is 26-65. So let's take a look. Also here with me is Jeanette Jackson from the Public Defender's Office. They set this for 1:15, but I don't have time to do this at 1:15 because I have a big fat zoning violation case. All right, you were arrested on or about January 13th for assaulting allegedly somebody named Tessa Pitcher in Park Township out on Marcellus Highway. Alleged that you made an assault with intent to commit great bodily harm less than murder by strangulation, which is a 10-year felony offense, interfering with a crime report, which is a misdemeanor, and you're charged as a fourth habitual offender, which makes this potentially punishable by up to life in prison. So, just a minute.
Strangulation. This, sorry, that I have.
I'm looking at your bond, trying to find your bond. Again, I didn't have any time to prep this. It was just handed to me. But I'm looking for, it's alleged that you violated your bond by having contact with Tessa Pitcher. Apparently last night or January 20th at 2:30 in the morning. Travis contacted and assaulted Tessa in a Super 8 motel room. That doesn't sound good.
No, it's on me, sir.
Don't say
I got
anything
it.
else right now.
Okay,
Trying to see
sir.
what this is set for.
No strangulation. Strangulation.
Well, it's set for a pre-exam next week, January 27th. All right. So they arrested you last night at the Super 8.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, you have attorney Paul Gibson. I'm gonna set bond violation hearing. In front of Judge Pattison. With your prelim or pre-exam set for next Tuesday, January 27th, 26 at 8:30. Your bond is canceled. You don't get to go allegedly assault the person you allegedly strangled while you're on our bond. So I don't know whether you were intoxicated last night or what the deal is. Notify Mr. Gibson, who is your attorney, and
Yeah. Very good.
he'll come see you at the jail. Were you still living out on Marcellus Highway?
Yes, sir.
Who lives there?
My cousin's girlfriend.
Your son's girlfriend?
My cousin's girlfriend. His
Cousin's girlfriend. All right.
his
Well, I don't
brother.
know enough about this other than I'm just gonna hold on to you till your hearing next week. Your bond was set in the amount of 2,000 cash or surety, which is pretty low for this kind of offense. And then it's alleged that you violated the conditions of your bond. So you've got a lawyer, you've got a court date set for next Tuesday. I'm gonna set everything at that same time. All right, Mr. Gunter, we'll let your attorney know. Good morning, Miss Moser.
Morning, Judge.
This is Judge Middleton. You got a lot going on today, but this is an old driving suspended charge that you failed to appear for sentencing on. And we're going to take care of it here this morning. The file number is 241220ST. You got a ticket on July 6th of 2024, and you were supposed to appear in July of 2024, and you didn't show up. So you got arrested in August of 2025, and you pled not guilty. You did 1 day of jail. Then we caught up with you and we set a pretrial, and you met with the prosecutor on October 29th of 2025, and you pled guilty to driving suspended. I set the matter out for a little bit to see if you could pay anything on your old fines and costs, and you didn't. And now you got arrested on a bunch of new charges. And those are in, have you seen the magistrate yet on those?
No.
You'll see them in a little bit. That's 2688 FD. That's operating while intoxicated third. Possession of meth. and another driving suspended. Rhonda, I'm just gonna put this one to rest. You pled guilty, you waived your right to counsel. You didn't end up taking care of anything. Things just got worse. Are you willing to just have me do the sentence at this time on that case? All right, I'm gonna do 2 days jail credit, 2 days, leaving 0 days to serve. I'm gonna waive the fine, $125 or 2 additional days, which will probably get swallowed up by what you're already doing. I was very disappointed when I saw this, when I came in this morning. You weren't supposed to be driving. I don't know anything about the facts yet, what your blood alcohol level was or what the meth was, but we'll take care of this one. One less thing you have to worry about. So that old driving suspended from July of 2024 has resulted in a sentence of 2 days and $125 fine or 2 additional days. In the meantime, the magistrate will see you later this afternoon, set a bond on the new charges, will appoint a lawyer for you, set it for a pre-exam conference and see where that goes. I wish you hadn't been driving, but we'll deal with that. We'll get a lawyer to help you with it. All right, you're good to go.
Thank you.
All right, this is the date and time for sentencing in the matter of John Elmer Fox Jr. Good morning, Mr. Fox.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Thank you. That was Michelle's job, so she taught you well. Plus you got a name badge. Anyway, thank you for that. This is People versus John Elmer Fox Jr. File number is 24787SM. This case is coming up on 2 years old. In March of 2024, the defendant was charged with a larceny charge. It was full of failures to appear. But finally, in October of 2024, the defendant pled to a larceny charge. The matter was set for sentencing November of 24, and then the defendant was off the grid for a while, and he got picked up on January 7th, and I issued on the bench warrant, I canceled his bond and set the matter for sentencing today. I think if I calculated all your jail credit days, you had 1 day in May of 2024. You had 1 day in September of 2024. I gave you 3 days contempt when you lied to me about working at Parma Tube. That makes a total of 5 days. And now you've been in jail for 14 days. So I think if we add it all up, you've got 19 days of jail credit.
That's what I had, Judge.
All right, very good, thank you. The allegation that you pled to is that you stole a guy's wallet out of his vehicle with about $40. Inside the wallet was no cash, but it had several credit cards and various forms of identification. The value of the coat was about $40, no estimate on the wallet. Losing your ID and all that stuff is certainly a pain in the neck. They had a video of this, and Mr. Fox is distinctive looking, and they were able to see it on the video. We also forfeited your bond through the bonding company. I think that may have actually gone through. Hope it did. Anyway, with all that in mind, Mr. Fox is here today. Your lawyer Luke Nossinger is here, and Angelique Camfield is here from the prosecutor's office. Mr. Nossinger, what would you like me to know here?
Yeah, Judge, the jail credit as the court has already indicated. My notes indicate too that Mr. Fox pled no contest, so he doesn't have to say anything.
All right, well, let's take a look.
It is pretty old too, Judge. So as the court has already.
Yes, he pled no contest. Thank you.
Yeah, so whether or not he wants to respond or not, that's up to him. But with the jail credit and the age of the offense, Judge, I would ask the court to consider that. I didn't have a restitution request.
Mr. Fox, where have you been?
I've been in Sturgis this whole time.
And yeah, I think you told me that when I saw you on January 7th. You just didn't show up, and then one day
I was on my way and the car broke down and I just didn't come.
And then you were riding your bike or something when they arrested you?
Yeah, I was on my way to find my other bike that someone just stole from me, and police rolled up on me. This actually ain't the first time. The first time they've actually rolled up on me. They've known I had a warrant. They ran my name a couple times. They've just let me slide and let me go.
What are you doing?
Right now, trying to get ahead. Like you said, losing your ID is a pain in the ass, and yeah, I lost mine not that long ago.
All right. Miss Camfield, the wallet apparently didn't have any money in it. He stole a coat of undetermined value, maybe $40. And but it is a pain. I don't know if I have any pawn money in here.
Your Honor, what I can say is that it does indicate that the woman's coat had about the $40 value that the court's already mentioned. There were 3 credit cards, a social security card, and other identification present in the wallet. The concern is not only replacing those, but whether or not they're now in the possession of somebody who's going to use them to commit identity fraud and further issues for the victim. This is a case that was authorized and actually a plea entered prior to my working for the office. However, when I look in the file and reflect on the defendant's criminal history, it's not good. It involves driving intoxicated, methamphetamine charges, marijuana charges, retail fraud, other larcenies, breaking and entering, conviction, resisting and obstructing police, domestic violence convictions, reckless driving. So the defendant has been no stranger to the courthouse, unfortunately, and just been consistently before the court unable to comply with the law. So I think a jail term with credit for the 19 days is appropriate. I do not have a restitution request, but I would ask that at least the $40 for the coat be assessed.
Oh, it's no contest. Thank you, Luke. Hidden away in there is $100 worth of bond. And the rest of the bonds were either surety or PR. We did forfeit a $200 bond. Hopefully we executed on that in November. But I have $100 worth of cash. I'm going to order 40 days jail credit 19, leaving 21 days to serve. Fine is $0. There's $125 of state costs, a restitution of $100, $225. Apply bond to restitution. All right, when you get out, I'm not gonna put you on probation or try to do a supervision. It's cold out. I'm gonna give you another 15 days or so. There'll be good time attached to this. 40 days minus good time is 30 days. You got 10 or 11 days to do, give or take. It won't be 5 below zero when you get out, hopefully. I'll take the $100 and I'll give it to the guy for the coat and his lost ID, and the other $125 for 2 additional days. All right, Mr. Fox, you were off the grid for a while, but not really hiding out. I'm gonna be here till the end of the year.
I heard you're retiring.
Yeah, so I don't mind seeing you, but how about if you don't come back here and see you for a while?
Game on that.
All right, Ms. Campfield's reciting all your history. You and I know your history from when you were just a kid. I wish you well. Don't come see me, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, you're good to go. Thank you, Mr. Nossinger.
Yeah, thank you.
That completes our morning. I have a vigorous zoning hearing at 1 o'clock. I'll be back for that, and that will be quite fun. Mr. Mayor, if you're ready, why don't you come up and have a seat? Gentlemen, if you'd have a seat over on plaintiff's side.
Your Honor.
Yes,
Do you plan on live streaming?
yes, I do.
Is it okay if I set up a camera or is that inappropriate?
It's not allowed under the court rules. Whatever you want to have preserved will be on there. It's unlawful to have extraneous recordings in the courtroom. In fact, even the police can't wear their body cams in here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I don't have a philosophical objection to it, but yeah, they wanted to, anyway, it's all preserved, both on the formal record and for a few days it will be on YouTube.
Thank you.
All right, we're here this afternoon. A couple of matters. What is originally set for was the defendant's motion for stay of enforcement pending final order, pending appeal. The file number is 2420690N and 25188ON. Title of the case is Lockport Township versus Anthony Mayer. Mr. Mayer filed this motion in November on the 4th, and frankly, I'm embarrassed that it took us this long to get it set. But we had some adjournments that were requested, objected to, and ultimately we settled on this date. This is my first day back from a vacation. Somehow I thought this would be a good idea to do it on that day. Seemed like a better idea than it does now. I looked at it before I left, and then some additional pleadings came in while I was gone, which I've had an opportunity to review today. Mr. Mayer is here representing himself. Mr. Mayer, at the hearing we had, you were represented at one point by Attorney Burt and then at one point by Attorney Truckee. At this point, Mr. Truckee is no longer representing you, and you're here in your own behalf, representing yourself.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that is your absolute right. You do better at this than some, but frankly, I was pleased when you had a lawyer to help you, but you have a right to represent yourself. Here on behalf of the township, again, from Fahey, Schultz, and Birch, and Rhodes, we've got Mr. Trent Cunningham, and we've also got David Szymanski, correct?
Correct.
All right. I called him by your name, and I called you by his name, so I might do it again before we're done, but I'll try not to. All right. So let's go back to where we are. The court made a ruling in their order, which was dated the 14th of July, 2025, order requiring compliance with the ordinance. It's included in the filings. It's also included in defendant's brief as exhibit number 13. In that, I ordered that the defendant remove the property, personal property, trucks, trailers, tail lifts, anything from the property in Lockport Township. It was to be done, I believe, within 21 days. That order was filed under the 7-day rule. No objection was entered, and the order was signed on, as I stated, June 25th. So my intention was the defendant would have a certain period of time to remove the property from that lot. He attempted an appeal in circuit court. It was rejected. Then he reappealed it. And I believe there's an appeal pending in circuit court. He is at this point asking me to stay my order. The township objects. So, Mr. Mayor, I'll allow you to argue first. Then we've got this other thing that was filed while I was gone. Notice of jurisdictional issue raised and preserved. We'll set that aside for the time being. And now we'll just deal with the issue regarding the stay. Mr. Mayor, as I said, you do better than some people representing yourself. I think you've become pretty proficient in ChatGPT or other assists. What would you like me to know?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I am requesting a stay solely to preserve the status quo while circuit court appeal, now fully briefed, is under advisement. I am not asking the court to rule on merits. This court has discretion to issue a stay to prevent enforcement that would cause irreparable consequences while appellate review is pending. All appellate briefs were submitted on December 30th, 2025. The appellate record is closed and the circuit court's decision is now pending. Because the appeal is already under advisement, enforcement actions taken now would not advance resolution. They would only risk prejudice before appellate review is complete. If enforcement proceeds now through removal of property, penalties, or compelled compliance, those actions cannot be undone, even if the appeal succeeds. That would effectively decide the case before the appellate court rules. I have acted in good faith throughout these proceedings. I have complied with directives, removed items identified by the township, and posted the bond accepted by the circuit court. I am not refusing compliance. I am requesting a pause while the appellate court deliberates. For the record, I note that I have preserved jurisdictional and procedural objections previously raised. I am not seeking ruling on those issues today. I respectfully ask the court to preserve the status quo until the circuit court issues its decision. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, those are logical, well-presented arguments. Essentially saying, I wish to have the circuit court make their ruling before you make this ruling, which is short and to the point. So I appreciate that. Township, however, has another view of this. Who's going to argue this?
I will, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. So we would ask that the court deny Mr. Mayor's motion for a stay for two main reasons. One is that Mr. Mayor can't show a likelihood of success on the merits on appeal, but more importantly, the balance of equities here just do not cut in favor of granting a stay. They would in fact cut in favor of compliance with the order and with upholding the township's ordinances. Secondly, Mr. Mayor has not alleged a sufficient basis that would support granting a stay. As for the law on this matter, under Michigan law, there's no explicit test for granting an order or for granting a stay of an order pending appeal in these circumstances. Courts have explained that it would be appropriate to look to the likelihood of success on the merits as well as the equities involved. Understanding that an inquiry into the merits of this case would be asking this court to essentially find that it made reversible error. We don't think it's necessary to get into the merits at this point. And as Mr. Mayor indicates, he's not trying to argue the merits. However, we're happy to go down that road if the court would want to. I think what's more important is that the balance of the equities here favors denying the stay. Compliance with the order at this point requires minimal burden by Mr. Mayor. This case does not involve tearing down property. It doesn't involve enforcing the order would not involve taking actions that can't be undone. It simply involves moving property or moving the equipment and the vehicles that are subject to the order from the property. And that's all it would take. If Mr. Mayor were to succeed on appeal, the equipment could be moved back. There's no irreparable harm at issue in this case. On the other, and this court correctly observed that, and as reflected in the transcript when the court said, quote, "This is relatively easy. You're an auction guy, you've got trucks, you've got trailers, you've got a place to put it. Take it there and put it there." Mr. Mayor even indicated on the record, which is also reflected in the transcript, that he has alternative property to put this equipment on. And so there would be no irreparable harm or even burden to simply move the prohibited equipment during the time of this appeal pending. And like I said, if he were to succeed, it could be moved back. There's no irreparable harm. On the other hand, township residents face substantial and irreparable harm. There's unrebutted expert testimony from Mrs. Nowicki, who's a realtor with 31 years of experience, but this court qualified as an expert, that the conditions on Mr. Mayor's property could cause a drop in real estate prices in the area, as well as making prospective buyers less likely to buy. That is an irreparable harm that could be caused by noncompliance with this order. Simply moving equipment is not the same. The minimal inconvenience of relocating construction equipment, a task that is well within Mr. Mayor's professional capabilities, can't justify prolonging these violations, which could decrease property values and harm the community. As for our second point, Mr. Mayor claims in support of his appeal, he alleges all these conclusory statements about the merits of the case. And those conclusory statements are not sufficient to support granting a stay in this instance. One of those claims is that the order exceeds the text of the ordinance by regulating property that's never defined by the code. As this court properly observed and directed the township to submit the order under the 7-day rule, we did that, and the court even explained to Mr. Mayor the process of that 7-day rule and how the order could be objected to, and the court would hold a hearing on that. We submitted the order along with this court's direction, and there was never an objection submitted by Mr. Mayor, and so the order was entered. This court should not grant a stay simply now because Mr. Mayor has taken issue with the terms of the order when there was no timely objection filed, and those issues are now waived. As well as Mr. Mayor claims that there's zoning style restrictions in the police power ordinance. Again, I think this cuts towards the merits of the case, which I don't think this court necessarily needs to get into at this point, but we're happy to get into that if necessary. However, he provides no legal authority or support or examples as to those zoning style restrictions, and there's just no evidence or legal support for those claims. And third, Mr. Mayor alleges in his brief that the stay should be granted due to substantial compliance. It's unclear to the township how substantial compliance would justify granting a stay in this case. If substantial compliance has not caused irreparable harm, and as Mr. Mayor indicates through his argument to the court today, he has removed much of the equipment that would be subject to the order. If that doesn't cause irreparable harm, then it's unclear how full compliance with the order while the appeal is pending would cause irreparable harm. And so I would just underscore that this is not an issue like tearing down a building or taking some sort of enforcement action that can't be undone. It's simply moving vehicles. The township and its residents have had to put up with these violations for a long time now. Mr. Mayor's briefs even indicate that some of the equipment that's subject to the order, such as some trailers and some scissor lifts, are still on the property. And so we don't even have full compliance with the order, even though the order has been in place for over 6 months now. And so I think that the balance of the equities in this case and the lack of irreparable harm would justify this court denying the request for a stay and maintaining the status quo by just keeping this court's order in full force and effect during the period of the appeal, which is where the circuit court ultimately came down on the issue as well when they denied the appeal. So we would ask that the court deny the request for a stay. Thank you, Your Honor.
I do have a question. His contention, Mr. Mayor's contention, is that the matter's been argued in circuit court and is pending an appeal. I mean, pending a opinion. I didn't understand that was the case.
Your Honor, the issues have been briefed in circuit court. There has been no oral argument in circuit court. And at this point, I'm not sure if the court will choose to set it for oral argument or if the court will just decide it on the briefs.
Has there been any date set?
Not as far as we're aware, Your Honor, we have not received notice of a date. And I did check the court docket this morning and I didn't see that anything has been set yet.
It takes a long time to do things in circuit court. I have a case that's caused me some consternation for several years. It got bound over to circuit court, or removed to circuit court as a civil case. And I just saw it been set for trial in June. It's already about 3 or 4 years old. And both parties are suffering from the delay in the case. That's just part of the legal process. Mr. Mayor, you're always polite, respectful, and your pleadings are actually in the ballpark. Your argument today was spot on. You're not asking me to reconsider the matter. You're simply asking me to pause it while circuit court makes their ruling. When I make my ruling and I issued the order, that's Exhibit 13, that's my finding. I had a rigorous trial. I heard testimony from people. I looked carefully at the statute, police powers versus zoning enforcement. I looked at the ordinances. I looked at lots of pictures. I'm familiar with the property. I drive past it fairly often. And I made a ruling that said, this is what I want you to do. Within 21 days. And then you filed an appeal, which is your right. But I don't wish to stay it. I made my ruling and that's what I wanted you to do. If the circuit court wishes to stay it, they can so decide. This would just invite everybody to appeal every zoning enforcement order if all they have to do is file an appeal and then I stay it in district court. It's going to take a year to get this case resolved in circuit court. Transcripts have, I don't know if they've been prepared. They have to be prepared. Briefs have been filed. It hasn't been scheduled for anything. I don't know where it's headed. And my analysis of this was very close to Mr. Cunningham's analysis of it. There is no irreparable harm. He mentioned tearing down buildings. I have ordered in my tenure that stuff be torn down, important stuff. Somebody's house, part of their house and garage that was built into the actual road right of way in another township. I ordered the church be torn down in Park Township. There's not much appeal from that. If I don't stay it, it's torn down. It's like asking for a stay of execution and you don't grant it and the person gets executed and then they find there was appeal merit and the matter was reversed. Well, that's irreparable harm in its purest sense. Here, there is no irreparable harm. You've already claimed substantial compliance that you've moved some stuff, move the rest of it. You have a place to put it. You have the wherewithal to move it. If Judge Stutzman rules in your favor, you can return the property back there, or pursue the building of that pole barn or whatever you're going to put on that excavated portion of it. So no, I meant what I said. I don't think there's a likelihood of prevailing on appeal, which would essentially state, I think I was wrong and the circuit judge is going to reverse me. I think I was right. I think I followed the law. I think my ruling was based on the facts. I don't have to like it. Zoning enforcement is not my favorite topic. but it's part of my obligations. So I do not find that there is a
Your Honor,
likely.
may I speak real quick?
Let me finish. Well, all right, go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
But you just did. So go ahead.
First off, Your Honor, I did follow your direction at trial, and I requested a stay in front of Stutzman. He sent it back to you. That was his direction, not mine. I've been requesting a stay since July of last year. Also, irreparable harm will occur because I will lose my constitutional rights for the time that enforcement is forced. Forced removal of property cannot be undone on appeal. And compliance moots the appeal. Irreparable harm does exist. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And you made a point. Yeah, Judge Stutzman kicked it back to me. He chose not to do it. He remanded it back to me to rule on the stay. And my ruling is I'm not granting one. You can ask him for one. I meant what I said the first time. If the circuit court wishes to stay it, I believe they also have the authority to do it. You made that point and I didn't, so thank you. And we have a different view of irreparable harm. There may be harm, but I don't know it's irreparable. So I find there is not likelihood of prevailing on the appeal. I believe my ruling was correct. Secondly, I do not find that there's irreparable harm to the defendant in moving this property off this lot. We're in the middle of an Arctic blast. Nobody's going to do anything right now. I'm going to grant the defendant 21 days to remove the property from that address, or the township can take the enforcement action that was in the original order. So my original order of June 25th, you did get a stay. You got a stay from June 25th till 21 days from today. The order of June 25th is in full force and effect and within 21 days. Now, you do have the right, and you feel very strongly about this, and you've done a creditable job in defending yourself. You can ask Judge Stutzman to look at it again, and maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe this is going to be decided in the circuit court soon. There's a lot of stuff going on. There are a lot of serious felony cases pending. Several murder cases, several assault with intent to murder cases, several large criminal sexual conduct charges. The circuit court is going to be moving to Three Rivers. There's going to be a lot of other court cases requiring the time of the circuit court. And so I don't think this is quickly pending a decision.
Your Honor.
Yes.
There's some things I need to request that you put on the record.
All right, well, we'll get to that in a minute.
The other thing I was going to ask is that you make a determination. I think one of the things that the township is threatening with, they want me to remove that lift that I utilize on the property on a regular basis for maintenance.
It's going.
Talked about that.
You can bring it back and forth. My order says what it says. All that stuff is in there. I'm not going to nickel and dime it. You can move it off of there. If you need to bring it back to your house for maintenance, you can do that.
Can you clarify on personal use trailers?
You can't park anything on that lot.
Even personal vehicles, personal trailers, personal vehicles, personal equipment. I'm not talking construction equipment. I mean, everything that I use to move my dirt bikes, my four-wheelers, my side-by-side, my lawnmower.
I'm not gonna nitpick this, because that's what you're gonna do is you're gonna then put a bunch of other trailers on there, and then we're gonna have to figure out how many angels can dance on the head of a pin.
Your Honor, I have a large piece of property because I have a lot of things.
Yes.
I have a large house. This is why I have property.
Yes.
And I have no plans to build a pole barn, just so you're aware.
Well, I thought we discussed that. You had excavated that portion there, and I thought at some point you were gonna put up
I think Doug Coleman's in your ear. I think.
No, I
that-
thought you told me that. I've actually looked at it. There's a big excavated portion that looks like it was cleared out for pouring a slab.
What I was doing is there's topsoil on that end of the property for some reason. For some reason, that end of the property, once I took elevations, that end of the property is 30 inches higher than the other. So after I finished backfilling around my house, which I was interrupted at the exact, roughly a year ago. And I've communicated all this with Doug Coleman a year and a half ago now. But my point is that I had no plans. I talked with him about in the future possibly building a pole barn, but I'm still trying to fix the drainage issues. And I don't have any equipment to do that with now.
Maybe that's where I got it. But anyway, at any rate, it's not imminent that there's going to be a storage building put on there. So that's not a solution.
Well, I can't do that without tools, and my tools have been taken away from me.
All right. Okay, so I would ask the township to present an order saying that I denied the motion for stay. I don't find a likelihood of prevailing on appeal, and I don't find any irreparable harm. 21 days from today, the township can seek the enforcement that was in the original order of, I think I actually signed it on July 14th. All right. Mr. Mayor wants to preserve some other things for the record, and you filed an additional set of documents. I left on the 10th. I guess this was filed on the 9th. I didn't see it until this morning, but it's entitled Notice of Jurisdictional Issue Raised and Preserved. And then it's defendant's motion to supplement and correct the record. Submits the following for inclusion. This filing is submitted solely for record preservation purposes. It does not seek a ruling, does not request relief, does not ask the court to take any action. The appeal in this matter is presently pending before the circuit court. So these are things you wish to be preserved as part of this record so the circuit court can consider them. And it is a filed document. So what else do you want me to know, Mr. Mayor?
Well, I just was hoping that you could make a determination, make a finding on the balance of harms and the public interest, those two things. I did hear your finding on.
Here today?
Well, I heard your finding on likelihood of success on appeal, and I heard your finding on irreparable harm asked in a stay. I apologize. I'm doing my best. I'm a carpenter.
You're doing fine. I just disagree with you. That doesn't mean that you're deficient. Let's say you had a lawyer and Mr. Burt were here, or Mr. Truckee were here, or other counsel. I would disagree with them too, and I'd issue the same ruling. So you're doing fine. I'm not critical of your self-representation at all. I just have a different view of things than you do. Now, these issues you want to have raised and preserved here, I guess they're raised and preserved by filing these documents. So I don't know what else to say about it. Is there anything you wish to further address regarding those things you filed on January 9?
I don't believe that anything needs to be said, Your Honor. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Mr. Cunningham?
Your Honor, I guess we don't have a whole lot to say on it as well, especially if the court's not going to make a ruling. I think as far as preserving things in the record now, I think the record on appeal is closed. That wasn't raised at the formal hearing. And so I don't know if there's any basis to submit things into the record now.
Well, I guess he can ask to do it in circuit court. It sort of reopens the case, but he said the trial record is what it is. Everything that was said here is preserved verbatim on the record. And I believe Judge Stutzman, I don't know if is the transcript been prepared of that yet?
Yep, we have a
Alright, so-
transcript, and that's, I think to my point is that we have the transcript, we have all the exhibits that were admitted at the trial, and as far as preserving these issues, they weren't raised below, they weren't decided by this court, and I don't know that.
And so he's got them preserved in his pleadings. And if he wants to address it further in the circuit court case, he certainly can take it up with Judge Stutzman. Again, I've made my ruling. We have 21 days. Judge Stutzman elected not to grant a stay. He didn't deny it. He remanded it back to me, and I have denied it. So I guess you can ask him within 21 days. But I've made my ruling. Or is there anything else we need to place on the record?
We have nothing else, Your Honor.
All right, this matter is completed. I'll wait your order. Again, it will be under the 7-day rule, as I explained to you the last time. I will sign it if there's no objection to it, but it's pretty straightforward. The original order stands. You have 21 days to come into compliance or they can seek enforcement.
All right, we are here for bench trial on one count of failing to yield to emergency vehicle when approaching a stationary emergency vehicle. And it looks like the state has its witness and is ready to go. Are you ready to go, Ms. Stevens?
Yes, I was just trying to make sure I got the video in the right position.
All right. And as I recall, this isn't one of those that had a long history. This is just one that you wanted to trial because you believed you were not guilty. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
With
Your
all
Honor.
due respect, Your Honor, this, the record, this is a case that has a long history.
Yes, I see Zoom codes were originally sent to the defendant April 29th for April.
Your Honor, if I may.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, this is a case that has been set for bench trial on 2 previous occasions, with both of those being continued at the request of the defendant over the state's objections noted on the record by the state's information.
All right, that is so noted. But it's not one, I don't believe it's one where I said it to get it moving. I think she wanted it, but maybe. In any event, I think we've covered the record, so state's ready to proceed.
At the court's leisure, Your Honor.
Defendant's ready to proceed, Ms. Stevens?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, please call your first witness, Mr. Regier.
Your Honor, may I request 30 seconds of the court's time?
You certainly can. Granted.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Trooper Buck Herbert to the stand.
Well, Trooper Herbert, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may lower your hand. Mr. Regier, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you please state your name for the record?
My name is Buck Herbert.
And where are you employed?
I'm a master trooper with the Kansas Highway Patrol.
Okay. And is Master Trooper your professional title in your capacity with the Kansas Highway Patrol?
Yes.
How long have you worked as a law enforcement officer?
Since 2018.
So approximately 8 years?
Not quite, but approximate.
Okay. Do you have any prior experience in law enforcement before your time with the Kansas Highway Patrol?
I've been with KHP since 2020. I was with the Sedgwick County Sheriff's Office prior to that.
Okay. Were you on active duty in your professional capacity on December 7th, 2024 at approximately 12:07 p.m.?
Yes.
And where were you at the time?
I was patrolling Butler County on U-77 highway, approximately milepost 35.
Okay. And when you say patrolling Butler County is approximately milepost 35 they refer to, is that in Butler County specifically?
Yes.
Okay. Were you patrolling in a vehicle of some kind?
Yes, a marked Kansas Highway Patrol vehicle.
Okay. And when you say marked Kansas Highway Patrol vehicle, does this vehicle contain any signals or indicia on its exterior to suggest that it is a law enforcement vehicle?
Yes, it has gold badges on the side. It's marked with state trooper in writing on the vehicle, and it's got red, blue, and white emergency lights signifying it as an emergency vehicle.
Okay. And these symbols that you described on the sides of your vehicle, would you describe them as small or large in size?
Large.
Okay. Approximately how large would you say?
I'm unsure.
As a guesstimate.
Which part?
The shields you had referred to.
The shields, I would say, are probably approximately a foot tall by a foot wide.
Okay. Do you recall if your patrol vehicle was in motion at the time?
It was not.
Okay. Do you recall what direction you were facing?
Northbound.
Okay. I want to talk about this area that you had referred to. Is it at the time, is it your testimony that you were stationary in your marked patrol vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. This area that you referred to on US 77, is that a rural or urban area to the best of your knowledge?
It's rural. It's to the south of the town of Douglas.
Okay. Do you consider US 77 a highway?
Yes.
Is that a state or federal highway?
It is a federal highway.
Okay. At this location, would you describe US 77 as more curving or more of a straight shot?
More of a straight shot.
Okay. At this location, is US 77 divided for multiple lanes of traffic?
It's not a divided highway. It's a 2-lane highway, one northbound and one southbound lanes.
Okay. So at this location, is it your testimony that US 77 is made up of 2 lanes driving in opposite directions?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything on the roadway that separates the northbound lane from the southbound lane in this area?
A yellow lane line.
Okay. Do you recall if there are any trees near this area, near to the roadway?
I don't remember specifically.
Okay. Do you recall what the weather was like on the date and time in question?
Fair. I don't remember any adverse weather.
Okay. And do you recall any aspects of the location at this date and time that impaired your field of vision in any way?
No.
Okay. Are you familiar with KSA 8-1530?
Yes.
What does that require drivers on divided 2-lane roads to do when overtaking stopped police vehicles with activated flashing signal lights?
So if they can move over to an adjacent lane, they have to. If that would be unsafe, they have to maintain they have to slow down to a speed that's safe for road weather and traffic conditions.
Okay. And when you say slow down, does that refer to a specific class of vehicles?
No.
No. So is it your testimony that this requirement of slowing down to a safe speed is required for all vehicles on roadways in this kind of a situation?
Correct.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I respectfully request the court take judicial notice of KSA 8-1530.
Taken.
Master Trooper, do you consider yourself capable of identifying traffic violations on site?
Yes.
Besides your approximately 7 to 8 years of experience, do you have any other past experiences or special training that allows you to notice and identify traffic violations when you see them?
No.
Are you not required to undergo any training to obtain your certification as a law enforcement officer?
Yes. I have to complete a basic law enforcement academy for both agencies I've worked for.
Okay. And did you in fact complete both of those training experiences successfully?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have to complete any continuing education requirements to satisfy your obligations as a law enforcement officer?
Yes.
Could you please describe those for the court?
It's just, it's various aspects of law enforcement. We continue to upkeep every year.
Okay.
It's
Are you required to specifically to complete a certain number of training requirements each year?
At least 40 hours.
Okay. And are you current on your continuing education obligations at this time?
Yes.
Okay. On now you mentioned previously that on the date and time in question you were stopped. Where were you stopped?
On the right shoulder of northbound U-77.
Okay. And why were you stopped on the right shoulder of northbound US 77?
I had just been on a traffic stop with a violator from a previous violation.
Okay. So is it your testimony that this vehicle that you were conducting the traffic stop on first, it was because you noticed another traffic violation?
Can you repeat the question?
I'll re-ask. When you conducted this traffic stop, did you observe any traffic violations which led you to initiate this traffic stop?
The traffic stop that I was already on?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Did you successfully conduct this traffic stop?
Yes.
Okay. Did you issue any citations or other tickets as a result of this traffic stop?
I don't remember specifically on the previous traffic stop. I believe it was a citation for speed.
Okay. But you did, but is it your testimony that you did in fact issue a citation on this particular traffic stop?
I don't remember specifically.
Okay. This vehicle that that you conducted this traffic stop on, did you ever approach this vehicle on foot?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever return to your marked patrol vehicle during this stop?
Yes.
Are you talking about the first stop or the defendant's stop?
The first stop. To clarify, are you testifying as to the first stop, Master Trooper?
Yes. That's sorry. That was some of my confusion earlier as well.
Okay. During this
About the
first
speeding violation that he stopped for.
Yeah. During this speeding violation traffic stop, approximately how far from the vehicle was your patrol vehicle parked, if you recall?
I don't recall the exact distance. I generally shoot for, I don't know, I'd say about 10 feet or so away from the vehicle. It varies stop to stop and for different reasons.
But is approximately 10 feet between your patrol vehicle and a suspected violator. Is that your ordinary practice in your ordinary course of business?
Generally, that distance or more.
Okay. On this first traffic stop, do you recall if your patrol vehicle was parked on the same side of the road as the speeding vehicle?
It was.
Okay. Do you recall if your patrol vehicle was parked in front of or behind the speeding vehicle?
Behind.
Okay. Now, you mentioned this previously, but for purposes of the record, this marked patrol vehicle that you were operating on the date and time in question, is it in fact equipped with flashing signal lights?
Yes.
And where are these flashing signal lights located?
Underneath basically the top visor on the inside of the vehicle to the front and rear.
Okay. When these flashing signal lights are activated, does it emit of any colors of light?
Red, blue, and white.
Okay. And these red, blue, and white lights, are they directed in any particular direction?
To the front and to the back.
Okay. So is it your testimony that if these lights were activated, a driver could see these activated lights from both the front and the rear?
Yes.
Okay. During this traffic stop on the suspected speed violator, did you ever deactivate your flashing signal lights?
I don't remember specifically on the first stop. If I did deactivate any at all, since I was still with that vehicle, I would have only deactivated the front to signal them that they could leave.
Okay. So is it your testimony that your patrol vehicle is equipped with front and rear flashing signal lights?
Correct.
Okay. And did you in fact initiate your flashing signal lights before conducting the stop on the speed violator?
Yes.
Okay. But your testimony is that you never although you might have deactivated your front flashing signal lights, you never deactivated your rear flashing signal lights.
Correct.
Okay. On December 7th, 2024, at approximately 12:07 p.m., did you see any other acts committed by any other vehicles that you would consider traffic violations?
Yes.
What did you see?
I was in my patrol vehicle, had just returned after finishing up the previous stop. As I sat there observing traffic and waiting for the previous violator to leave, I saw an SUV at highway speed come up behind me and passed me in the lane next to me. And I checked the speed of that vehicle that went past me at 64 miles an hour.
Okay. When this second vehicle, do you recall the make of it?
It was a Chevy Traverse.
Okay. Do you recall the color of this vehicle?
Like a dark gray or a black.
Okay. Now, you testified previously that you observed this Chevrolet drive past your patrol vehicle. Is that correct?
Yes.
When it drove past your vehicle, did it approach and drive past your vehicle from the front or the rear?
From the rear toward the front.
Okay. And you testified previously that you were facing northbound. What direction was the Chevrolet driving?
Northbound.
Okay. So is it your testimony that at the time, both your patrol vehicle and the Chevrolet were directed or driving in the same direction?
Yes.
Okay. And when you observed this Chevrolet driving past your marked patrol vehicle from the rear, were your rear flashing signal lights activated?
Yes.
Okay. When the Chevrolet drove past you, was your patrol vehicle still parked on the right side of US 77 per your testimony?
Yes.
You mentioned previously that the vehicle that you had conducted the first traffic stop on, you were waiting for them to depart. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. When the Chevrolet drove past you, was the first vehicle that you stopped also parked on the right side of US 77?
Yes.
Okay. And when you say this Chevrolet was driving at highway speed, do you consider highway speed to be a high or slow rate of speed?
A high speed.
Okay. What lane was this Chevrolet driving in when it drove past your vehicle?
It would be the northbound lane.
Okay. And were you parked immediately adjacent to the northbound lane during this initial stop?
Yes, on the shoulder.
Okay. So is it your testimony that when the Chevrolet was driving in the northbound lane, it passed immediately adjacent to your patrol vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Were there any intervening lanes between the vehicle that you conducted the first stop on and the Chevrolet?
No.
Okay. And did you personally observe the Chevrolet drive past the first vehicle that you conducted the traffic stop on?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you testified to this previously, but just for the record, you testified previously that the Chevrolet was driving at highway speed. I think you said 64 miles per hour. Did you use any specialized equipment to make this determination?
I did. I used my Stalker Dual DSR radar.
Okay. And are you certified to use this equipment?
Yes.
Okay. Do you use testing on this equipment to check that it's working properly?
Yes.
Okay. Could you please describe this testing for the court?
So it is an internal self-test that I activate with the remote switch, and the unit does a test to make sure all the signals are functioning properly, as well as the antennas that are pointed to the front and rear. And if there are any issues, it will indicate that by an error message on the unit, and then it will be taken out of service.
Okay. How often does this testing on the stalker radar take place?
It'll be the beginning and the end of my shift when it is used for enforcement.
Okay. And you mentioned that a stalker radar would be taken out of service if this testing had resulted in any issues. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Would you use your stalker radar for law enforcement, for any law enforcement, such a notification of issues, to use your word?
No.
Okay. On December 7th, 2024, at approximately 12:07 p.m., was the stalker radar in your marked patrol vehicle working properly?
Yes.
And how do you know that?
Because it had not thrown an error code when I was utilizing it.
Okay. Can you confirm that the Chevrolet that drove past you in the adjacent lane was specifically clocked by the stalker radar?
Can you ask that again?
Yes. Can you confirm that the Chevrolet driving past your marked patrol vehicle in the adjacent lane was specifically clocked by your stalker radar unit?
Yes.
And how do you know that?
Because it was traveling by itself.
Okay. So is it your testimony that there were no other nearby vehicles in motion that would have interfered with your reading?
Correct. And even if there was, it was the closest one to the radar unit when it was checked. And I also had line of sight. Like, I watched the vehicle come up behind me and then pass me. And with that tracking history, I was able to verify that I had the correct vehicle.
Okay. Does your stalker radar include any functionality for measuring the closest moving vehicle?
It will typically favor the closest vehicle.
Okay. Is there anything that you recall about that day which might suggest your stalker radar unit might have measured a different vehicle than the Chevrolet?
No.
Okay. And for purposes of the record, you mentioned this again previously, but what is the posted speed where you were at the time?
65.
Okay. And what speed did the stalker radar measure the Chevrolet driving at?
64.
So 1 mile per hour under the posted speed limit?
Correct.
Okay. Based on your experience as a law enforcement officer, is it possible for accidents to occur between stationary vehicles and vehicles driving at 64 miles per hour?
It could happen.
Okay. If an accident had occurred at those speeds, can injuries potentially result?
Probably, and possibly severe.
Okay. Did you ever successfully conduct a traffic stop on this Chevrolet?
I did.
Okay. Where did this stop take place, if you recall?
It would have been nearby, approximately the same location.
Okay. And still in Butler County?
Yes.
Okay. Once you conducted the stop, did you personally speak to the driver of the Chevrolet?
I did.
Can you do you see the driver of the Chevrolet present in the Zoom conference?
Yes.
Can you please point them out and give a brief description for the court?
She's got long hair, glasses. She's got a white background with photos on the wall and looks like a red, like a blind in a window.
Okay.
She's got a red shirt on, it looks like.
Okay. Your Honor, let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
The record shall so reflect.
Master Trooper, during this second stop, I guess I should say, did the driver of the Chevrolet ever provide you with official identification?
Yes.
And could you please describe this official identification for the court?
She would have handed me her driver's license.
Okay. Do you recall what state this driver's license was out of?
It was Kansas.
Okay. During this second traffic stop, did you discuss the defendant's passing your parked patrol vehicle in the immediately adjacent lane at 64 miles per hour while your flashing signal lights were activated?
We did discuss the reason for stop,
Okay.
and she felt that she didn't do anything wrong because she was driving under 65 miles an hour. I explained to her that I didn't stop her for speeding, but because she didn't yield to my stationary emergency vehicle. And she couldn't move over. There was opposing traffic, but she also did not slow down to a speed that was safe for me and the other violator on the side of the road with her going by.
Okay. And per your previous testimony, the requirements of is it the requirements of KSA 8:15:30 that in these situations drivers have to decrease their speed to a safe speed?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever write the defendant a citation for failure to yield to an authorized emergency vehicle?
I did.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I respectfully request leave of the court to share my screen. Master Trooper, do you see the video footage on the screen?
Yes.
Do you know what kind of video footage this is?
Inside car dash camera.
Okay. And are you familiar with inside car dash camera, to use your words, in your ordinary course of business?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have personal knowledge of this particular video footage?
Yes.
Okay. And what is this video footage of?
That's the day and time in question, and I'm still on the side of the road with the violator from the first traffic stop that we had discussed.
Okay. So is it your testimony that you were personally present at the time of the events depicted in this video footage?
Yes.
Okay. To the best of your knowledge, has this video footage been altered in any way?
No.
Okay. And to the best of your knowledge, is this an accurate depiction of the events of the first December 7th, 2024 stop?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to admit the video footage of the first December 7th, 2024 stop as State's Exhibit 1.
Hearing no objections, Exhibit 1 will be admitted.
Your Honor, at this time, I respectfully request leave of the court to play the video footage from approximately minute marker 0 minutes and 50 seconds to 2 minutes and 0 seconds.
0:50 to 2:00.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Very good. For those back, this is citation for the speed. You have to pay your appeal on until January 6th. You can pay it in person through the mail and online. Back. Any questions? All right. You have to take proof, all right? Thanks, sir. You don't have to apologize. Take care.
Master Trooper, did you have the opportunity to review the video footage on the screen while it was playing?
Yes, I've watched the video.
Okay. Is there anything in this video footage that causes you to amend your earlier testimony in any way?
No.
Your Honor, with the court's leave, I will stop sharing my screen.
Very well. Is it the testimony that this is the Traverse that you were talking about, the defendant's vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Mr. McGear.
Your Honor, barring any redirect, no further questions.
All right, Ms. Stevens, you may you may proceed with cross-examination. This is not your time to testify and tell your version of what happened. That will come later. If you have any questions about the trooper's testimony, you may ask those questions at this time, but limit them to his testimony and follow up. Don't start on any testifying, even if it gets tempting.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Just wanting to, well, good afternoon, Trooper. Excuse me. I would like to go back to your testimony or your sworn testimony about the area that you were first stopped in. You stated in your testimony that that is a clear shot straight road. Was that your testimony?
Roughly, yes.
Okay. And also in your testimony, at first you stated that that there was no oncoming traffic. As we see in the video, there was oncoming traffic.
Objection, Your Honor, testifying on cross.
Sorry, but it was your sworn testimony that there was no oncoming traffic.
If I may.
Please answer. Yes, go ahead.
It was not my testimony that there is no oncoming traffic. I said that you could not move over because there was other traffic.
Okay. All right. And is it your sworn testimony that on your, what do you call your speed thingy?
My stalker radar.
Stalker radar. So thank you. Your stalker radar, that weird name. Your stalker radar, that it is equipped to differentiate which vehicle is going at which rate of speed. Was that your sworn testimony?
I said that it favors the closest vehicle.
Okay. And at the time of, if we look back at the video at about, I believe it would have been around 1:32 on the video, 1 minute, 32 seconds, where the white vehicle was coming south as the defendant, myself's vehicle, was going north. Could you tell which one was the closest to your vehicle as far as passing is concerned?
So the Stalker Dual DSR radar has two antennas, one points forward and one points rear to the rear. When I checked the defendant's speed, it was coming up behind me. So it would have been that vehicle only. It would not have been checking both vehicles simultaneously.
Oops, sorry. Okay. Sorry. My only other question for you is, when you approached my car, did you happen to notice how many occupants were in the car?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Overruled. I'll let her ask it.
I don't remember total number of occupants. I believe there is a front seat passenger.
Okay. At any time do you remember any statements made by myself or the occupant?
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
She just asked if he remembered. She didn't ask what they said. She's getting very close. You can ask him if your question, but don't be asking him what was said unless the person that said it is here to testify, Miss.
Yes, ma'am. Do you remember the defendant, myself? Do you remember at the time of the stop, after you had told stop was for, saying that I would be recording?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay. And at the time of the stop with my vehicle, you say you don't remember me saying that I was recording. Do you remember possibly saying why would I want to record?
I don't.
Okay. Do you happen to remember it being said, I am contacting my attorney?
I don't.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, any redirect, Mr. Regier?
Very briefly, Your Honor. Master Trooper, when you measure the defendant's speed using stalker radar, is it your testimony that you measured the defendant's speed?
Based on what he just asked? No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, Trooper Herbert, you are free to leave or stay unless Mr. Regier or Ms. Stevens plans to recall you.
Your Honor, the state would request that Master Trooper Herbert remain in the Zoom conference in the event of a rebuttal witness being necessary.
All right, sir, are you able to do that?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Very well, Mr. Regier, any further witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state rest.
State does so rest, Your Honor.
All right, now, Ms. Stevens, you can present any evidence if you want. Again, you don't have to. And it will not be used against you as evidence of guilt if you don't. But if you want to present evidence, either through your own testimony or someone else's, you're certainly welcome to call any remaining witnesses you have.
Well, my one witness would have been a passenger. I believe her son had an appointment, so she was unable to get on because he is autistic and they are having treatment right now. But I would like to testify on my own behalf.
All right. Please raise
Okay.
your hand.
Okay. Sorry.
Problem. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may lower your hand. Please state your name and then tell me what you wish to have the court consider.
My name is Candace R. Stevens.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I would like the court to consider, after hearing the troopers' testimony, that in fact, the area that I was traveling in on that day is as you come out of Cali County, is a very hilly and very curvy area. Leaving the Cali County line, hitting the Butler County line, there's a big stone. I traveled this road hundreds of times. There's a big stone that lets you know you are now entering Butler County. That stone, it sits on a hill. As I was coming up towards the trooper, he was on a curve. By the time I got down the hill, not only was there a white dual cab diesel truck tailing my behind, trying to pass me, telling me, not my, sorry, I would say behind, trailing me, and then turned off. I had very little opportunity to really slow down, but also there was oncoming traffic. As we see in the video, there was a white, I don't know the make or model, but it was a little white car coming towards us. It passed me right in between being, I would say, almost even with the trooper's vehicle before even passing the blue vehicle. I know it was a blue vehicle because I was being nosy, as I always do, when I know it's a vehicle that may be somebody I know, and I had slowed down because I could not move over anyway, so I had slowed down and was looking to see if I noticed if that was my client. I am a community health worker, and it looked like my client that I had just left out of Winfield earlier. But I noticed it was not, so I continued. But at the time, there was no possible way for me to have moved over, even though I had slowed down. There was no possible way for me to move over. As we know in the statute of, we already established that at 8-1530, section B, line 2, about if the driver is in that type of situation, only thing they're to do is to slow down. They cannot move over. And it also says in part C that it is the duty, I'm sorry, trying to read and look at this, the duty for the driver to have due regard for the safety of all persons, not just the trooper, but all persons using the highway. And that is what I was doing on that day. I was thinking about all persons on that highway, including the 6 lives I had in my vehicle, and the life of the trooper, and the life of the first stop, and the life of those cars that were passing me. So I did what was all in my power to do to safely pass him. But instead of I would say being pat on the back for trying to do something that was safe, that could have, if I would have did anything else, if I would have moved over to the left, then how many lives would have been lost that day? There was an unborn baby because my daughter was pregnant, and I had my 3-year-old son by adoption, and I had 3 other grandchildren in the car that day. So if I would have had tried to pull over an inch, which I did kind of ride the median, and if there was more sound that you could hear, I was riding the median, because it bumps when you're on the median there. I mean, on that middle thing, it bumps. If anybody has ever crossed that, it does make a noise. And I was trying to be as cautious as can be with what little room there was to move over. But as he turned on his lights, I was almost to Douglas. So from the area where he was stopped with that vehicle, it took him, I can't even tell you approximately how many miles, but I know it was another hill area that he had to come over the hill and come down in order to even pull me over. I'm very versed in that area between Winfield and Douglas and Augusta. Like I said, I travel that quite often. And we were traveling to my grandson's birthday on that afternoon. But anyway, but I feel that I should not have been ticketed because I followed the law to the best of my ability. If I had not, then we would have multiple lives either injured or dead, because I would have did something that is would have been still seen against the law, because I would have caused a wreck of 1 or more vehicles. And I did feel at that time that I needed to record because of my skin color. I don't feel safe with law enforcement. So I did let him know I would be recording. And he got an attitude with me and my occupant.
Objection, Your Honor, not in evidence.
She's putting it in there. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Overruled.
And he got an attitude with me. Also, during that traffic stop, if we was to go to play all the way through the traffic stop, he put himself in danger. Instead of staying on the right side of my vehicle where he started off at, he moved to the left side. And I even at the time said to him, well, you're putting yourself in more danger. There's more cars coming that we're not moving over. If we would like, we could play that video if it does please the court.
It's up to you. It's whatever you want to present.
Okay. All right. Am I allowed to share?
Sure. Now, are you replaying the state's video, or are you replaying the one you are going to play the one you recorded? Ms. Stevens.
Are you still there? I'm sorry. Somebody was trying to cut through.
I am. Ms. Stevens, what video are you going to play? Are you going to replay the one I've seen, or are you going to play the one that you made of the stop?
No, it is the one. It is still the same video. I asked and paid for the video of the dash cam so I can have it also as my evidence. And so I do have it if I'm allowed to share and be able to play the actual stop.
You are. Again, Destiny, does she need any kind of, do you have any kind of override that needs to be released for this sharing?
No, Your Honor, she should be able just to share.
And Your Honor, the state would object to the defendant playing any purported video footage, as it has not been established through proper foundation, nor has the defendant laid adequate testimony or evidence to show that it is in fact the same video footage and has not been altered in any fashion.
Well, you really should answer those questions, Ms. Stevens.
And Your Honor, is the defendant really in a position to answer those questions for purposes of laying appropriate foundation, for purposes of admitting another exhibit?
I don't know if she's got the ability or not. Ms. Stevens, why don't you present it the way the officer did and ask, do you want maybe we can just have Mr. Regeer's thinking that you haven't established that it is the same video that the officer had, that he's seen it, That it hasn't been altered? Do you want to just have him replay the one he had?
Yes, if he doesn't mind replaying, and I'm so sorry, me and this phone trying to switch back and forth because my computer would not work. If he would just go ahead and play forward to the actual traffic stop after I have pulled over, if the court will allow.
Mr. Aguirre, can you just turn that video back on and let it play a little longer?
If that
You just muted yourself, but yes, I'd like, that might be the easiest way to do it. So, Ms. Stevens, you're basically asking the court to reconsider State's Exhibit 1, right?
Yes.
Okay, to review it, review a state's.
Review it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may.
Sure, go ahead.
You can also see that the road is curving.
Okay, we reviewed the portion that the state played. Now, what are you wanting to do, Ms. Stevens?
I want to show the differentiation from him stepping on that side where it is safe to moving over. If this is about safety of a trooper, about him moving over, as you see how close to the yellow line that my tires are, and as we watch, we can see how many cars pass by that do not move over. And then I would like to establish how many cars pass.
Relevance, the other vehicles are not on trial here.
But I would like to show the relevance of what the safety, if this is because of a safety issue of me not moving over when he said I did not move over.
I see this as an issue of whether the state has the elements of 8-15-30 or not.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, Your Honor.
So now that statute, I'm sure, was enacted with safety of officers in mind, because so many officers that I have personally known over the years have been just flat run over by motorists in traffic stops. But I don't know that I should be looking at that as much as just the individual elements of the statute. You've addressed some of those already, Ms. Stevens. So I don't know that I need any arguments about safety, although I am curious, for clarification, you said something about how close you are to the yellow line. I see a white line next to your car and yellow.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't see well. So to me on video, it looks yellow. I'm sorry. The white line.
Okay.
For the shoulder. I'm sorry. The shoulder line.
Okay.
I do apologize.
Okay. Well, now, did you want to show any more video, or is this what you wanted me to see?
What I was actually trying to lay out there was when he moved over to my left side and put himself in danger, which could have caused him, as we say, we're worried about the trooper being hit because they're doing a action of stopping a vehicle on the side of a road, but he did not take into account of how many vehicles were coming up behind him.
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
Right. Okay.
Sorry.
So do you want to play any more video, or can we take it down?
I would like to have moved forward to where he moved from my right side to my left side.
All right, let's see what happens. Let it run a little longer, Mr. McGee.
One moment, Your Honor.
I'm pretty sure if you are able to forward, you can forward to that.
No, let's just let him run it, let
Okay.
it run its course. Now, you said you had a passenger sitting there on his side, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Who handed out my driver's license to him. And there's one car that went by that was very close to my car. And there was no oncoming cars for that. That car could have had moved over. And this is a long video because it was a very long stop. And another car goes by. No oncoming traffic, would not pull over.
Well, I am going to sustain Mr. Regier's earlier objection about those kind of comments, because as he said,
okay,
whether they pull over or not, they're not the ones on trial. I mean, maybe they're breaking the law too, but that's not going to help your case or hurt his or yours, either one, because it's not really the issue. It's what you did, not what they did. Although I can see who pulls over and who doesn't. Ms. Stevens, do you want the video to continue playing?
We can stop because I don't know at what point he comes back over and he gets on my left side with oncoming traffic at his backside, so, and a semi.
All right, so at this time, Trooper, you're running her driver's license and insurance, that sort of thing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And I will add, I have no prior anything on my record.
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
that I am a law-abiding citizen. That is my
Objection, Your Honor,
relevance.
arguing on.
All right, I've allowed it. We'll move on.
Okay, we can stop, Your Honor,
All right, thank you, Mr. Regier.
because it's a long video, apparently.
All right, you can remove the share screen, Mr. Regier. All right, Ms. Stevenson, anything else you want to testify to?
Only thing I want to testify to is that I did what all I could do to make the situation safe for all that was involved, for my passengers, for the trooper, and for those that were also traveling on that road. And now I feel I'm being punished for trying to do something that was right in the statute laws. And I believe in anybody's, life, they would have been thanking me for doing the right thing.
All right, Mr. Regier, cross-examination.
No questions from the state, Your Honor.
All right, any other witnesses you want to call, Ms. Stevens?
Yeah, my witness did walk in.
All right, who is your witness?
My daughter that was in the car that day, Kishana Ratzloff.
All right,
Ratzlaff.
put her in front of the,
There you go.
put her in front of the camera. Please sit down in front of the camera and understand you are in a court of law. Even though it may not look like it from where you are. Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony ma'am, solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. Now, please ask your questions and please directly answer the questions given to you. Starting with what your name is.
Kishana Ratzlaff.
How do you spell that?
KEISHAWNA
All right. And where are you from?
Art, Kansas City, Kansas.
And I understand you're the daughter of the defendant?
Yes.
How old are you?
I just turned 24.
So you would have been 24, December of 24, 23.
Oh, I just turned 24 December of 2025.
What day was your birthday?
December 13th.
So you are almost 24, but just 23, it looks like at the time of the stop.
No, I'm 24 right now.
Okay, but in December 7th of 2024, how old were you?
23.
All right. Now, Miss Stevens, you're going to need to ask your questions where I can hear your questions and I can hear her answer.
Can you hear me, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay. Kishana, on the day in question, do you remember as we were driving down the Butler County Highway?
Hold on, you're kind of testifying by telling her that you were driving down the road on Butler County. You're going to have to ask questions in a non-leading way. Just ask her what happened December 7th of 24.
What happened December 7th, 2024?
We were on our way to Wichita to celebrate my youngest son's birthday and go to Build-A-Bear. And we took Butler County Road. I was also 6-7 months pregnant with my daughter. And it was either right before or right after the curve, before Douglas. The state trooper was pulled over to the side. He had his lights off and everything. His traffic stop was over with. He was in his car. We was going north, but there was a pickup truck going south on the other lane. At the same time as we was passing the sheriff, and my mom did slow down when she knew she couldn't move lanes. And then about a mile or so later, we realized, this happened so long ago. We saw there was lights behind us. We didn't realize we were getting pulled over right away, but when we did, she pulled over. I hit record because this is America. And this state trooper came and was like saying you didn't switch lanes, and we were like pretty much couldn't. We had a car full of kids. We had my two boys, me pregnant, my baby brother, and then my mother. So a lot
Honor,
of
if the court's going to allow this line of questioning to continue, the state would lodge a continuing objection on grounds of relevance.
Objection noted. Go ahead, Ms. Ratzlaff.
I have no idea what any of that means.
This means go ahead, proceed with your testimony.
Oh, okay. So if she would have moved over into the other lane, we all would have been in a wreck.
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation.
I'm going to allow it. Go ahead, Ms. Stevens.
Okay. And the state trooper was in his vehicle, so he was in no harm's way in any danger.
Objection, Your Honor. If the court's going to allow this line of questioning to continue, the state would also lodge a continuing objection on grounds of speculation.
I will sustain that. You can't speculate as to what would have happened to the officer, whether somebody would have gotten hit. But I think I've got enough common sense. So if you tell me where everybody was located, I can figure it out.
Okay. And pretty much he came to my side of the vehicle majority of the time and talking. It was me and I have it all on video. Me and my mother was talking to him. We were still very respectful. You could kind of tell by his demeanor he was pretty much wanting to take control, but we still remained respectful.
Speculation.
And then
yeah, that's the kind of speculation that you don't want to be doing. You can describe his behavior, but you cannot get inside his brain and tell what he was wanting to do.
That was my opinion. That's just how I talk.
Well, you said that he wanted to take control. You can tell me why you thought that. Tell me that he did.
I felt like he wanted to be like.
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation.
Go ahead and try. I'm gonna let her go ahead and say what she's trying to say. Why she thinks he was trying to take.
Don't cry, Kishana. Calm down. Don't cry. Don't cry. I need you to finish testifying. Take a breather. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. In your own words.
I am.
In your opinion.
No, not opinions. I don't want opinions. I want facts. Now, he may have been, as an officer would do, he might want to have taken control of his traffic stop. But for her to say that's what he was doing, she needs to be able to describe things that were said, demeanor, that sort of thing. But without making her own conclusion of what he was trying to do.
So he said that she didn't yield at the time, like, I guess, of the stop, however you word that one law. And she stated that she did slow down, and he also stated that he did clock her at 64, which is on record. It was just pretty much like the whole ordeal is just like we would have moved over, we all could have been dead.
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Stevens. Do you have anything else you want to say?
That's it.
The objection is noted, Mr. McGee.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I am giving her a little more leeway, and she's a lay witness and was brought in by the defendant. All right. Do you have any cross-examination of the witness, Mr. McGee?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any other witnesses, Ms. Stevens?
No, I don't.
Any other evidence, or does the defense rest?
I rest.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you, Ms. Stevens, for coming in and exercising your right to have this trial.
You okay?
Thank you, Mr. Regier, for doing your part as the state's witness. At this time, thank you, Trooper, for your subpoena. At this time,
Okay.
Okay, you're in court, Ms. Stevens. At this time, I have considered the testimony and I have reviewed the statute. I've looked at the videos and I do find that you failed the duty of a driver on approach of authorized emergency vehicle pursuant to KSA 8-1530. In other words, Ms. Stevens, I do find you guilty. The officer was very credible and the video seemed to support that he had been making a traffic stop, lights on, and he was wrapping up that stop when your vehicle with your family approached him, and you appeared very sincere when you and your daughter both said you felt if you'd pulled over, you would have had a wreck, but that is not consistent with the officer's testimony. That isn't consistent with what I think I saw on the video. It has been a little bit, but I saw some vehicles coming that direction, but I saw no reason at certain points where you couldn't have pulled over, but certainly you could have slowed down. And the officer did check your speed. You were still going at 74. If you were slowing down and still at 74, you would have been way over the speed limit anyway. But you certainly should have given more room to the officer, whether it was by pulling over or by slowing down. And I just don't see that you have complied with your duties as a driver when approaching an authorized emergency vehicle who was making use of visual signals, meeting the requirements of KSA 8-1720 or 8-1722D and amendments thereto, which requires you to do those things that both parties have mentioned. So I'm finding you guilty. Your fine is $195 scheduled with 108 court costs. Total due of $303. Do you need some time to pay that?
A whole bunch of time.
30 days, 60 days, 90 days?
90 days.
All right.
And I will be appealing.
Okay, to pay within 90 days. You have, you can appeal this. I believe it's 14 days to appeal this.
Oh, I sure will.
To the Kansas Court of Appeals.
Driving while black.
Miss Stevens, that's offensive. It's racist, and I don't appreciate it.
I'm not a racist. I'm the only race here right now, the minority wise.
But you're accusing us of going after you because you were.
Oh, I got proof that the judicial system goes against black people.
All right, we're not going down, ma'am. We're not going down that path. The evidence speaks for itself, regardless of whether you're black, white, pink, purple. It doesn't matter. It's the evidence, not the color of your skin. Now, if you do appeal this, you must post an appeal bond. Destiny, please make sure this is noted. She must post an appeal bond of $303 cash if she appeals this. And I set them at the amount of the fine and the costs so that if you do not prevail on your appeal, the ticket and the court costs will be paid. If you do prevail on the ticket, you can always get that money back. Your appeal bond will be $303. It's not enough just to appeal a notice, say you're going to appeal and file a notice. You have to follow through with that with the Kansas Court of Appeals. If you don't know how to do all of that on your own, you might want to hire an attorney to help you do that. But that's my judgment at this time.
Oh, I hate white people.
You hate white people, that is noted. It is also noted that immediately after the defendant yelled, "I hate white people," she disappeared from my screen as if she hung up. But again, this decision has nothing to do with color, but on elements of the crime, and I believe she has violated the elements of the crime, the statute, traffic crime, and that it's not a crime, it's an infraction. I was thinking that was a misdemeanor. With that being said, we will be in adjournment. Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge, and the state would thank Master Trooper Herber for honoring his subpoena multiple times throughout this matter before he departs.
Yes, thank you, Master
Thank
Trooper.
you, Mr. Gear, and Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. What a way to end it. All over a traffic infraction. I mean, something that everybody in this chat would have just been like, okay, my bad, sorry. Let me pay this ticket. Let's move on with our life. She goes all the way there with it. All the way to the end. For no good reason. I don't know. But, you know, I'm just an old wolf. And I'm a nasty old wolf at that. What can I say? The case has closed itself. And ladies and gentlemen, there was a ton of stuff that happened today, but with Middleton being back, this was the first day Middleton was back, I felt we had to partake in some good old Middleton for his first day back. And when I saw how that case concluded earlier this afternoon, I was in so much shock that I had to share. I'm sure there's probably like 5 other creators out there, but I had to put my music in it. Yeah, I had to get the epidemic sounds out and have a little bit of background sound and everything. You know how it goes. We're gonna do this again tomorrow night, 8:00 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Is that right? I think that's right. Come on by, check it out. Same wolf time, same wolf channel. I am your humble lone wolf Usul. I'm your curator for these here videos, your host for the gallery nightly court review. And I appreciate you all so very much. It has been an amazing turnout tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I have hardly ever seen 2,000 people in chat at the same time. And while I'm throwing thank yous out there, I want to say a big old thank you to Barry and Heidi for your contributions in your super chats. You are all so wonderful. I don't know what else to say. You all rock. You have made my night an amazing evening, and I appreciate you all so very much. So with that, I'm going to let the music play out, and then I'll be back for a little bit of what do we call it? The Ferris Bueller day off. You know, the reference we have to do every single night after the music's over. It's got to happen. We'll see you then. Okay. Really? Why? I really appreciate all of you, and you're amazing. You can stay here as long as you want, but in about 2 minutes, it's out of my hands. You know what I mean? Go home. Go to the kitchen. Get something to snack on. Get ready for bed. Go touch some grass. Do something. I love you all very much. Have a good night. Goodbye. Oh yeah, Aurora Borealis, Aurora Borealis, Aurora Borealis.